Hi, this is Taryn Grome, editor of Pharma Voice. We met with numerous inspirational thought leaders at this year's DIA annual conference as part of our Editors Take video series. I hope you enjoyed this discussion.
In this episode, Taryn meets with Jason Monteleone, Chief Executive Officer, Clinipace.
Hi, Jason. Welcome to Boston in the 2018 DIA.
Thanks, Taryn. It's great to be here.
And thanks for participating in our Editors Take video program.
Absolutely.
Why do you think Clinipace has anything different to offer than other CROs?
Yeah, I think the approach that we're taking at Clinipace is we want to be true partners to our sponsor companies. We don't want to be looked at as a CRO that just checks the box. We want to be looked at as a CRO that comes up with solutions when there are challenges with their trials. Clinical trials are hard. If it was easy, everybody would be in the business, but I think the worth of a CRO is coming through with solutions when there are bumps in the road.
What are some of the biggest challenges you face with some of your sponsor clients?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge that's facing the industry today is really patient recruitment and coming up with novel ways to recruit patients for complex trials.
You have a significant focus on regulatory and strategic development. Why do you think that's so important?
When you think about the roadmap of taking a compound from the bench all the way to commercialization, having a strong regulatory strategy to go along with that, really improves your chances of bringing that drug to market. And fortunately, we have over 60 professionals all around the world in North America, Europe, and Asia-Pac to help our clients with that process.
Wonderful. What opportunities do you see for the small, mid-sized CRO? And then as a follow-on, how does a small, mid-sized CRO compete in a therapeutic area?
That's a great question. I think we've seen the industry change a lot over the years. The way I've looked at it is today we have kind of large mega CROs, so CROs that might have revenue of $1 billion or greater, and then we've got the mid-sized sector that's roughly $500 million or less. So I think there's been a big change in the way the industry works today. A lot of the large sponsors are working with the larger CROs because they have the number of trials and the scale that they're looking for. But more and more small biotech, small pharma, and mid-sized pharma are really looking for a partner where their trial doesn't really get thrown onto the backlog of a really large CRO. Not to say that the large CROs aren't good CROs and provide good service. It's really that from a partnership standpoint, small to mid-sized pharma works best with a mid-sized CRO and large pharma works best with a larger CRO.
We've been talking about partnerships in terms of CROs and sponsors for a long time. What do you think are the most critical aspects of a good partnership?
I think it's when both sides go into it looking at it as a partnership. I think as the CRO industry has evolved, I think in the early days, sometimes the CRO might have been looked at as kind of a necessary evil, as a lot of these R&D positions are moving out of pharma. I think today, when we look at it as a true partnership and both go to the table to try to resolve issues together, I think getting comfortable with the project teams. I think it's great when you can have project teams work with the sponsor on multiple projects. There's a lot of comfort there in what their policies and procedures are. And I think as a relationship begins to grow and expand, you have a certain level of executive oversight coming from a mid-sized CRO, where the executives from the CRO and the executives from the sponsor really get to know each other well and know what makes each side tick. And I think that really just builds a strong relationship.
Wonderful. How are you approaching the dynamic changes in technology? Something that we're hearing a lot, that technology is really the connector today.
Yeah, so we're putting together an agnostic new clinical stack of best-of-breed of software offerings that are out there on the market. And our goal is to take all the data from those software offerings and put it into a clinical bus and then develop data visualization reports using Microsoft Business Intelligence technology. So we look at service as our number one offering that we're providing as a CRO. We are a service-oriented organization. We want to use technology to improve the service offering that we can give to our clients. And we really want to take a look at the data from clinical trials and take it to the next level.
Now, this last question, a little provocative, but do you see clinical trials as we know them as obsolete?
It's a great question. I think obsolete's a strong word. I think in most all industries, we see change over time. And if we take a look at our space, what are we always looking for? We're always looking for doing them a little bit cheaper and a little bit faster. Our industry is built on failure. So something like 75 to 80% of all clinical trials ultimately fail. Now, those failures help us build on to create successes into the future. And I think we will see changes. I don't think clinical trials will be obsolete. we're seeing today that there's a lot of investment going into different data streams to whether it be help recruit patients faster, or to select the best sites. We're taking a look at adaptive trials, become more and more in the mainstream. I think clinical trials will evolve and we'll find different and better ways to run them, but I don't believe that they'll be obsolete.
Fantastic. Now, what is one of the biggest trends you're hearing about at DIA right now today?
There's a lot of conversation about clinical trial systems that are out there and how to use that data. And you're hearing a lot about that drafting towards how do we recruit patients and how do we get the best sites. Even at DIA and outside DIA, I probably have conversations once a week with a different company that has a data stream that will enable us to recruit patients a lot faster.
Jason, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Taryn. I appreciate the opportunity.
For more information on this topic, visit our Thought Leaders website.
For more Editors Take videos from the DIA Annual Conference, visit www.pharmavoice.com. Thanks for joining us.